So this is today's exercise around belief systems. Now, this one you're going to need to give some thought to. It may instantly come to you, and if you do, fantastic. Um, but it might be something that you need to spend a little time having a think about. And it always, well, I don't know whether it will help to talk to somebody else or not. Up to you. Up to you. Share with somebody you trust if you choose to. Absolutely fine. So what I want you to do is I want you to identify 3 belief systems that you have. One of them is something that you want to change. I'm guessing that the reason you signed up for this course in the first place is because there is something you want to change in your life. So that one might come to you quite quickly, that what you want to change. But also it might be other areas that are holding you back in life, restricting you in life, without you realising that they are. And this is where you need to give it some thought. For example, do you have belief systems around how much you can earn, or how much you're worth, or what jobs you can do? And the reason I particularly focus on this one, or home in on this one, is because this is an unhelpful belief system that I had that caused me to go into a depression. You might remember me talking about, I think it was week 1 or week 2, about how in 2002 I fell into a depression. And it was due to stress from work. I was signed off sick from work. I was told I had depression and needed antidepressants. I had no idea, but this was what I now know, with the great benefit of hindsight, is that the whole scenario around this, and why this happened, was my belief systems. And I believed one of the reasons that I ended up with so much sort of stress and then the depression was because I had a belief system that there was nothing else that I was qualified to do, or that I could do, that would bring me the income that I needed in order to pay my mortgages and my bills and everything. I was financially responsible for the household. So all that pressure was on my shoulders, or I put it all on my shoulders. I mean, isn't that, again, it's belief. I'm saying, I've just demonstrated really well how we have these unconscious belief systems. I put that pressure on myself for having all the financial responsibility in the house. I believe I had to. I believed my partner my partner at the time couldn't do that. So I took it upon myself. It's all belief systems. But what it came down to, I was in the IT industry, I was earning good money, but I was absolutely hating it. And again, the stress came from belief systems. It came from my at the time I believed that I was banging my head against a brick wall all the time. I believed that what I was doing, or the area that I was in, I believed that the products were wrong for the market, and that the market didn't match. And basically, all these things, they were just the conclusions that I had come to find other things to blame and not take responsibility for myself and my own actions. What I should have done instead, with the power of hindsight, is that I should have gone and educated myself, but I didn't understand about self-education and self-development at the time. I should have been inputting that energy into developing me, instead of finding reasons and excuses to blame of why I was failing in my job, because I believed I was failing in my job. Okay, all it actually needed was some a different viewpoint on the situation, a different belief about the situation, but I didn't know that. So I went down this sort of like stress alley, got signed off sick from work, and then the depression fell in because I was trapped in this mindset of, what am I going to do? I've got to go back to that job that's making me ill. There's nothing else I can do that brings me the income. I've got a mortgage to pay, I've got bills to pay, I've got people to look after here. I've got my car was on a lease. You know, I had all this financial pressure and responsibility, and that I did not know of another way that I could survive. And of course, my brain went into the worst possible scenario that I've been telling you over the last 4 weeks. That's what happens. I went down that worst possible scenario, and I was going to lose my house. I don't know where to live, and you know, I didn't even need to go through the detail. It was just disaster. So, how, you know, this is how the opt-out clauses from our primitive brain works, and it doesn't make any sense when you think about it logically. I fell into depression. I went back to my bed. I pulled the duvet over my head, and I just did not want to face the world until the situation changed. And you know, that wasn't doing any good. How was that helping at all? And this is why they are opt-out clauses. These anxiety, depression, and anger, they do not help. But it's how we react when we're faced with a crisis because of our own belief systems, and we're looking at things in a negative way and not a positive way. What I actually found was, or what a different truth was, that the world wasn't going to end if I didn't do that job, that I could and did retrained, and actually my financial situation improved massively of giving up that particular job and that industry. And it all started changing and getting better the moment I decided that I was going to change something, and I was going to change something big. And that was basically, I was going to step out of my career. Now that's massive. I was going to step out of the career. But I sort of, you know, I was caught between as I saw it, the devil and the hard place. I couldn't, the devil and the deep blue sea is what the saying is, isn't it? Or the rock and the hard place, or whatever the saying is. I didn't know of another way. So I just thought, at least take out that belief system, decide that I am going to find another way, and I did, and the rest is a much, much happier history than when I was there. Another belief system that I am in the process of changing at the moment is being a vegetarian. Now, I still describe myself as a vegetarian. I'm not. I'm not in the fact that I could and would eat meat now. It's just where I live is just finding good quality organic meat. But that's an excuse. See, I've just done it again. I've just told you another excuse, right, for changing my belief system. Now, this is a belief system that I chose to take on when I was 14 years old. Okay, and I have been a vegetarian for 35 years of my life, and I've recently, in the last 4 months, have decided to start eating meat again. It's for health reasons for me. But changing a belief system, I have believed about myself since I was 14 years old that I'm a vegetarian, that I don't eat meat. Okay, now you can see quite clearly that that is a choice, that I chose to believe that. Now, if you've got any beliefs around food, you'll know how ingrained this goes, how deep this goes. And actually, it's incredibly difficult to get your head around eating meat again. If you believe it is, and I've done it again, it's difficult to get your head around. I'm making excuses for meat all the time. And we all do that. And I hope it gives you some sort of comfort that I'm sat here just exposing my belief systems and my weaknesses, and showing you, demonstrating how deep they're ingrained. And I'm saying, oh, it's difficult to change that. No, it's not. It's just a matter of deciding to. Another belief system I had around food, and this is something that a client helped me change, is I believed since I was born up until the age of 47, I think, that I was allergic to eggs. My mum, apparently I was when I was a baby, and my mum has just told me since very young child, since I can remember, that I'm allergic to eggs, and she told me that she's allergic to eggs, and my grandmother was allergic to eggs. It's something that goes down the female side of the family. So I quite naturally believed that, and I've just always believed that I'm allergic to eggs. Now, a client of mine came to see me for an eating disorder. It's what we affectionately term as a freaky eater. She would only eat certain colour foods. And she came to see me now. At the end, yes, she did change her belief, and she started eating all sorts of new foods, any sort of foods. Once she had managed to open the gates, change her belief system, and start eating stuff, the floodgates just opened, as we said, and she started eating everything. But when I had explained to her that I sort of understood where she was coming from, because I could empathise, because I haven't eaten eggs in my conscious life. I haven't eaten eggs since I can remember, because I've been told that I was allergic to them, but I don't actually know if they will make me sick or not, because I haven't tried, because I don't want to be sick. So I haven't eaten eggs. So I believe that I am allergic to them, but actually I don't know if that is true. Just can't bring myself to try them. And then when she left, she bought me a card, and she also bought me a box of 6 Happy Eggs. The brand you can get in the supermarket in England, which amused me. And I thought, okay, right, if she's changed something massive like that in her life, it's been since she was 7 years old, she'd only eaten certain colour foods, it was white foods. If she can change something like that is massive for her, then I can at least try an egg. It's such a small thing. And anyway, it took me a while, because it's just such a strong belief I had. It took me a while, but I did. And guess what? I'm not allergic to eggs. And now I eat eggs regularly. So that's a really good demonstration about how you can change your belief systems, and your belief systems may well be completely wrong. Okay, and the only way you're going to find out is by challenging them. So going back to the exercise, I want you to identify 3 belief systems that you have. Some might be really obvious, some might not be so. Some might be around your capabilities and what you can do. Some might be solving issues that you've got at the moment, things you believe about yourself. Some might be things that you would like to change because they would be an improvement in your life. They might be around relationships and how you behave. A lot of people do have belief systems about, oh, I always do this and I always do that. If you are talking to yourself in that way, I do this and I do that and I always do, it's a belief system you're reinforcing. So what I want you to do is to identify 3 belief systems. And then I want you to identify, do you need to change them? More importantly, do you want to change them? If something you've lived with for many, many years as a belief, okay, you might think you need to change it, but if you've lived with it, then actually subconsciously you know that you don't need to believe in it. What's more important, to change it rather, what's more important, do you want to change it? Okay, I could have quite happily gone on for years and years, for the rest of my life, believing I was allergic to eggs. My mum still does, and she won't try one. But I wanted to change it. So your power of want actually is more important than your power of need. Your power of need often comes from your belief system. Your power of want is your free will, and that's way more powerful. So do you want to change it? And then I want you to, if you've decided, yes, I want to change this, then I want you to write about, okay, so if you do change it, how is your life going to improve? What is going to be better about your life if you change that aspect? It might be what was better about eating eggs than not. I get more options for healthy life, but it's I don't know. For me, it was just really the I wanted to. It became powerful. Okay, and then when you've decided, okay, what will be better in your life? How will it enhance your life if you have changed this? Then I want you to start examining what you need to do to change it, what you need to do to make this happen. Okay, just 3 things. That's not, because these could be quite big. Okay, and I want you to prioritize. Some might be easier than others, but again, it's down to your belief. So that's your exercise for today. Identify 3 areas where you have belief systems. Do you need to change them? Do you want to change them? What would be better if you do change them? And where can you start making those changes? When you've done that, I want you to click the link below, which will take you to a summary video that I'm going to explain to you about how you can unlock 2 bonus training modules that I haven't told you about in the beginning. And you can get these absolutely free. Just want you to do something for me so that you unlock them.